Let's go. Boat first, questions left.
Malady grabbed.
God-woken.
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the water, and Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
What's that, Quercus? Do you have something?
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
I'll be damned if I ever set foot on that island again. Don't care who I have to bury.
A hard-fought freedom, sure. But if spilling blood is bad, it shouldn't be so agreeable.
Bad luck to let the dead linger aboard. As soon as we get moving, we ought to clear the deck. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the ship.
Well, this is a fine sight. Utterly barbaric, of course, destroying a tree and turning it into a boat. Grotesque, but, well, look at it, Quercus. A floating nest, surrounded on all sides by salt water, pure poison to a tree's root. The great acorn could never reach us out here. Well, yes, of course we'll continue our research, Quercus. We're not monsters. Still, I must admit, you were right about the shield. It proved to be more than adequate. Oh, yes, it seems our shield is still here, Quercus. How does something so large and ungainly sneak up on a person? You give the giants too much credit, Quercus. I think the salty air has addled your mind. It has certainly been useful, but elegant, kind, surprisingly attractive. No, we have no time for your fawning. We may be safe, but the world is not. Come, we must return to our research.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those God-woken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive. Apparently, you didn't hit hard enough.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive.
What could possibly be more urgent than getting this boat moving again? She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
This is barbarous magic.
Expedient magic, actually. The ship is made of live wood. It has the spirit of an elven ancestor tree within it. It seems Dallas has found a way to bind that spirit to her. That means only she can control it. Unless we can find a way to break the bond.
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they?
It's your best that'll save us all.
There must be something around here. Where would I hide something important if I was a Magister?
Good to feel the rolling of the waves. That might actually be a good night's sleep.
We have to find a way to get this ship moving. We can't let the Magisters catch up with us. We're too weak to fight them again.
The silent monk leans from one foot to the other. He seems eager to move. The silent monk leans forward slightly and stares at you straight in the eyes. She seems eager for you to say something.
Let's team up, you and me. What do you say? Now, onward!
I must say, you may not be an eternal, but you are certainly not as temporary as many of your fellows. Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient. If only. Alas, I do not have time for isolation. If you must know, there is an excavation site at the Black Pits on Reaper's Coast. I go to seek answers. The only treasure worth digging for. Knowledge. I was investigating a site where several artifacts of my people have been found. Some were even intact. Alas, I was not the only one there. Those red-robed idiots were scurrying about too, trampling precious clues under their ignorant boots. They caught me when I failed to correctly respond to their questions, and dragged me here. Still, it's good to be on the move again. Is that so? Perhaps we could find an arrangement that benefits us both. I need to travel to the Black Pits oil field near Reaper's Coast. But my attempts at staying under the cover have not gone well to date. Given how well you handled yourself in Fort Joy, I rather think you could be of use. And I am certainly useful to you. So, how about it? I travel with you and aid you in your various chores and tasks, while you help me to remain incognito. Very well. Let's be off.
Nothing. Empty as Dallas's heart.
Oh, this is heinously unfair.
Are you certain you want to dismiss your...
Yes, I can go on then.
Empty as Dallas's heart.
Melody says if we can get the ship to move, we can go home. Home!
All that fighting will be worth less than nothing if we can't get this tub moving.
Nothing. Empty as Dallas's heart.
There's got to be some clue. Dallas would have trusted someone with a secret, wouldn't she? Unless there's someone still inside.
Speak to me if you're looking for hired help. I've got good fighters of every stripe. They know how to keep their mouths shut too, as long as there's gold in it for them. So, what'll it be?
What's this? I found something.
From the end of a rope locked up in here.
We've braved the joy, and I lust for further adventure. What say you? Shall we continue our journey?
You're not quite certain you'll ever sleep soundly with Sabine in any sort of proximity, but at least she's on your side. For the moment.
Bloody ring, it's loose! Get off me and stay off!
If it were up to me, you'd be swinging from the end of a rope, not locked up in here.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence Hey, vessel,
Don't I know you from somewhere? So, we've got quite the task on our hands, haven't we? I have to admit, the whole thing is very intriguing. The old band back together again, hmm? I guess that depends, doesn't it? Look at me. Hard. What do you see?
Losa leans back slightly, thin arms crossed in front of her chest, and stares at you defiantly from dark eye sockets, darker and deeper set than when you first met. She blows back a lock of white hair, matted with sweat and grime, and holds back a smile from the corners of her lips.
But I'm not the same, am I? I want to make sure you understand, well, the risks. You don't get it. I'm dangerous. You have to pay attention. You have to be willing to hurt me if I'm hurting you or someone else. Can you do that?
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate for the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. Enough!
Do I ever? Still sore from that one. At the time, I wanted you to defend me. I didn't realize how bad things had gotten. I know better now. Something like that happens again, you do what needs to be done. Deal? Well, all right then.
She pinches your cheek, a sparkle in her dim grey eyes.
I knew I could count on you to murder me in a pinch. Let's go, Chief.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the Bloody Divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
I wish. No, the Magisters kept me chained to the bulkhead. Arms held above me head, feet barely able to touch the deck. Now my joints are paying the price. We're a big bloody target on our backs. We took their leader and their flagship. The Hammer won't stand for that. She'll be hunting for us.
The Seeker throws a toxic look at the imprisoned Magister.
Hardly. She's just some deckhand. If it were up to me, I'd tie her to the main mast and use her for arrow practice. But Malady wants her alive for now. Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood. All right then, just don't make me regret it.
Hope you find something useful.
A young Magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions. Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the...
The Magister falls silent, but stares at you with unwavering defiance. There's a shift in the Magister's expression, a flicker of doubt. Then...
I'm a good Magister, loyal. But Dallas, something about her has changed. She's toying with dark magic, like a common sorcerer. She used to sing to the ship. It let her control it. She had this old book of hymns and incantations. It was only ever in her hands, or else locked away in her cabin at the stern. That's all I know. Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the divine. All right. Don't harm him. I'll be watching.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle. His face contorts with agony and his eyes flutter, yet he doesn't return to consciousness. No matter how loud you shout your questions, you get no response from the unconscious Alexander.
You spoke, didn't you?
Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop. Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells. A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope. The gem sits heavily in your pouch. The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection. The wood groans and creaks. For a moment, you swear a face appears in the wood. A face tortured and tormented, a six-sided shape carved upon its forehead. The face vanishes. The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password. You've summoned me with the gem, indeed. Now, the password. No. The human mind is as simple as it is stubborn.
The door seems like any door. The wood grows, the face vanishes. The anguished face, a shudder of pleasure.
I am summoned. Speak the password. No. The human mind.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice the wood groans and the face vanishes. The anguished face appears. A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door.
No entry allowed. Please use the port side door. Listen up so I don't have to repeat myself again. I am not an entry door. Fine. Answer the security question. The password is fortitude. Now, answer the security question.
The face in the door is confused for a moment.
Drat.
Whatever type of companion you need, I can provide.
I am You've summoned me with the gem, indeed. Now, the password. Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Just one more moment, please.
He clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks? I'm a prisoner, of course. Do you think I'd be sitting here calmly if I was a Magister holdout? That infernal Dallas woman left me trapped here, too weak to escape. It seems I'm in your debt. Dallas took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding, until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems. I've offered my services for gold in the past, yes, but my labors for Dallas were far from voluntary.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process. Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchanted Ed Cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
But that damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur. Trust me, convenient is the last word I'd use to describe the experience. Pass me that copper wire there, would you?
An unseen force yanks the copper out of your grasp. Tarquin catches it and offers you a thin smile.
Butterfingers? I'm afraid I truly can't remember anything. Now, unless there's something else you want, I need to get back to my work. Dallas didn't tell me anything if she could avoid it, but I did overhear her practicing an ancient lizard dialect. Significant, perhaps, don't you think? Lizards apparently have ancient magic that allows them to control slaves that bear their mark by singing a song. Dallas must have had an interest in those techniques. Took it? No, I made it! Have you seen the kind of metalwork the Magisters deploy? This is in a different class to them. As I said, the Magisters left me weakened, but this will help give me the strength to carry on my work. Despite what she did to me, I can't help but admire the woman a little. She's unwavering. She will break before she bends. If you cross paths with her, be sure to break her. I doubt you will get another chance. I'm doing my utmost to be civil to you, under rather trying circumstances. Why must you push me like this? An active imagination. Overheated, even. Perhaps you should let this matter rest. Your blood is up after your adventures, it seems. You wouldn't want to do anything rash.
I'm not perfect myself. It isn't for me to judge this one.
Anyone who faced enslavement deserves our sympathy, not our blades.
Something tells me that he'll only bring us woe, but I can't judge him yet.
He takes your hand in his gauntlet-clad fist and shakes it. There's a lot more power in his grip than his slender frame would suggest.
Call me Tarquin, and consider me at your service. There's likely not a soul aboard this ship without secrets they'd rather keep hidden. Why should I face more scrutiny than the rest? Perhaps you could enlighten me on your methods someday, but not just yet.
pyramid? What on Riverlon is this for?
Only one way to find out. Try using it.
What script is this? Whatever it is, it appears to be written in verse. I've spotted something.
I'm a monster. I click and clack as I stalk my prey. My tail rattles like a snake's. I suffer. Don't touch me. My very being's a curse. Was Tarquin that wretch, that rat? I ate an ill mouse and passed in my sleep, and the brooding boar brought me back on a log. Me miserable. Mumsy? Is she here? Mumsy, where are you? 'Tis I, Booply Bear. I am quite changed, but don't be frightened. You? She sent you?
The cat begins to purr and rub itself on your ankles.
Any friend to Mumsy is a friend to me. I believe the song is around here somewhere. As I said, not Mumsy. You'll need the song for that.
The cat purrs, an eerie clicking sound.
Tell Mumsy to come back soon. Now that I am but bone, I'm too light to trip the moving door. I'm sure there's a rat back there.
Oh, Quirkus, don't be like that. I was looking at his bone structure for academic purposes. There's nothing to be jealous of. Honestly.
What's this? I found something.
Were those guards or victims?
Both, I fear.
Another pyramid.